Gain. Alright, we are live. Alright, I just went through several hours of catching up on Hutchison effect stuff and reading up on a whole bunch. Alright, let's see how many people are live. Can you guys hear me? Oh, I gotta mute this. Can y'all hear me? Okay, old methyl miners here. Let's see this play.
We help you find a domain that fits your business.
Catching up on Hudson effect stuff. Alright, it looks like I think audio is working. Alright guys, let's see how many people we have. We have 4 people watching right now. Okay, we gotta wait for a bit more then. Alright. That I am a methyl miner. Okay, so you can hear me. Audio's fine. Is it too low, too loud? Or just right? And alright. Hey, good evening. Alright, wishful thinking's in the house. Epic stuff. Let's see what else we got. This links chat. Okay. So yeah, let's just see what what we have in store for today. And so here's a link as always. I can hear. Okay, Ron Muckle, you're in the house. All right, it's been a while. I was actually looking through your messages to find some Hutchison samples, but that was before. But then didn't have time to look again. But so if you can send them over, that'll be pretty cool too. All right, and here's a link to all the links I'll be covering. I went through some of them, and I just went and reviewed, added a bunch of notes, but I didn't have time to go through all of them, like the Bob Greener interview with John Hutchison and stuff like that. That'll be for future, but we will discuss it today as well. Alright, let's see what we have. Alright, we have 10 people. I just want to see what's up, MES. And Paul Lovelace is here early. Let's go. Let's just see how... Let's wait a bit longer until we get a bit more people, then we'll start ramping stuff up while I drink my hot banana water. I put a banana peel inside the water. Oh, that's good. Alright. And okay, Joe Lafiamama. Lafiamama. Hi, oh, 9/11 Origin is here. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Alright. So here, there's a link to the notes. Link to the links I'll be covering. And yeah, so I added the trailer as the that epic album, music album. It's pretty fire. Let's go here. All right, so 14 people. I think we should start going, and then they can catch up as they wish. And hopefully I could wrap this up in 2 hours, because then I gotta go to my niece's birthday party. All right, they're turning 2, I think 2 or 3. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, okay, how's my head there? Alright, let's continue further, and I'll read the description. So MES Livestream 20 had a pretty good epic description, so let's write it down. So I'll read it out. So join me as I explore the remarkable work of Canadian inventor John Hutchison. After setting out to replicate Nikola Tesla's work with old military equipment that he salvaged, John discovered that interfering specific microwave energy frequencies with static... Okay, I'm getting a message there. Mute this. Okay. Let's go back here. So John discovered that interfering specific microwave energy frequencies with static electric fields somehow manipulated objects in unconventional ways. Metal bending, twisting, fracturing, levitating, fuming, fusing with wood and other dissimilar materials, all without the presence of heat, are just some of the many anomalies he discovered and which he coined the Hutchison effect. Even more amazingly, 9/11 involved much of the same effects with John himself. Yeah, in which John himself swore in an affidavit that 9/11 involved the use of a quote scaled up version of the Hutchison effect. This was during Dr. Judy Wood's key TAM court case against the NIST 9/11 report fraudulent contractors, and included the trailer there, and there's the album here. So make sure to check that out. All right, wishful thinking. Happy birthday. Thanks. Yes, that was an epic birthday. I had my birthday was a Monday. Yeah, this Monday. And actually, we get a sidetrack in a bit. So I had to do the pancake challenge during pretty much my birthday. Pancake challenge. Oh, pancakes. Okay, why? I don't know why it's nothing. not searching up. Let's see. I think this is. It's got to be something pancakes. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Chat GPT. So I lost my NFL fantasy, so then I pretty much have to go eat 24 pancakes. Do the pancake challenge. And I just don't know why it's not showing up. Working on. No, this is something's up with here. I got okay. I'll say birthday. Yeah, I'll just gotta find it. We have some time until people start jumping in. Where is? Okay, so this is before this day. Okay, so that's birthday on Monday. Let's see if it loads up the pancakes. Yeah, okay, so I had to do a pancake challenge. I don't know why it didn't search up there. Okay, so anyways, it started snowing, so I ran to IHOP, and then so the challenge was, I need to eat 24. I need to stay in IHOP for 24 hours, but then each hour I eat each hour is reduced by eating a pancake. So I think I had a photo here, and I made it with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT asked, make a photo of me doing the pancake challenge as punishment for losing in my NFL fantasy league. The pancake challenge is staying at IHOP for 24 hours while each pancake eaten lowers the requirement of 1 hour. And then it says, I can create it. What do you look like? I said, I look like Cesaro from WWE, which so this ChatGPT made this pretty epic stuff. So that's literally me. All right, so that is me, and now it's pancake. So why is it gone? Done. Okay. So anyways, let's go through some photos and go back to the Hutchison effect. So I ran here just to burn some calories, and this is the first batch. I took the topping off. No topping, just the basics. So 5 of them. Just devoured that. And then there's the next batch, another 5. Okay, there's me eating it. Oh, Timothy Selva's in the house. All right, we're just going over the pancakes, and then threw some strawberry on there, and ate a whole bunch. I ended up eating 14 total before I'm like, okay, I may want to puke, and also the washrooms were closed, so that counts as lowering hours. Anyways, so I did that. I wouldn't ask for the check from that dude. Wait for the check. All right, that is true. That is true. All right. Don't bother asking. But yeah, I told them, can I get free pancakes for my birthday? They said no. I'm like, all right, that's next level. All right, so let's go back to the thingy. How many people we have? All right, we have 15, 16 people. Let's just continue on our march, and now we'll start to stay on track. All right, and actually, we'll play the trailer actually, and then if you haven't seen the trailer, it's pretty epic stuff here, and it has. I found photos of John Hutchison when he was younger. With his giant ray gun or something, and then also this is his apartment in Vancouver back in the day, and then there's a wrench that's twisted, and this is a memorial in Beverly Hills actually. Let's play this video, and we will play this. Stay on track. Oh, whoops! Oh, that's the live stream. Okay, so I gotta find the actual video there, and then I'll figure out what is going on. Okay, and this is the video link. Shareable link. All right, we're gonna play this.
Most people
is this a new pancake theory? Yes, it is. Earth's a pancake.
would agree you can't get something for nothing. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And yet, we get our oxygen free from the air we breathe. We get sunlight free, and water, that used to be free until bottled drinking water came along. But science has come a long way since then. And laws, well, there's never been one that hasn't been broken.
Well, free energy is basically, and another word for it is zero-point energy. It's energy that is contained within the vacuum of space and which is virtually undetectable by any traditional means. In fact, the energy is homogeneous and isotropic, the same everywhere, the same in all directions.
The Canadian government seized my laboratory, which was 22 tons of equipment. I came back from Germany and moved into this place here and started my experiments again with Army surplus and Navy surplus equipment. back in the 1940s. Directional finding equipment, all kinds of neat configurations, waveforms, and that, right up to 44 gigahertz. That gives me a wide range and wide spectrum of fields and that to work with.
Alright, so that's epic stuff, and there's that photo again. This photo.
Wide range.
This photo's epic. This is John with the long hair there. I think that's before the wig. Or it might be a wig, but anyways, that's pretty cool. And then there's the some sort of death ray or something. There's a twisted metal, and there's this laboratory in Vancouver. I'll show some images and documents there. Also got a message here, a metal miner, how many hours I end up staying? Well, let's see, I started running 11:30. Okay, yeah, so Paul Level's a serious skeptic. No, I just wanted to show this for starters. We'll get through some more content. But yeah, so I ended up saying, I think, so 11:30 is when I started running, and then we ended up leaving 1:30, so 12:30. So pretty much 2 hours total, including my run. So an hour and a half. Because I eat one meal, I actually eat one meal a day, so if I wanted to, I could eat them all in an hour, but I didn't want to puke, because you could start feeling it. It's all eating the same thing. Alright, pear-shaped, alright, so that video is, yeah, it's pretty epic. You also see some fuming starting to happen later on in there. And, alright, so let's just continue in what we have in March. So, alright, so the first thing is MES links. As always, guys, always check out MES links. Throw everything in there. And also, I got photos right here from Nyland Bridges just sent me these photos. So this is, yeah, so this is Dr. Judy Wood and John Hutchison. I'm not sure who that is, but there's Judy Wood at his lab. I believe she also witnessed him doing the experiments as well. So it's pretty epic stuff. And this is 2008. All right, so that's John Hutchison. Yeah, so John, if you're listening, let me see. I also read the paper. I'm guessing it's bereft of any exact info. Is that the George Hathaway paper? That's one of them. Yeah, Hathaway. This one here. I believe you're talking about George Hathaway. Yeah, this was a quick paper. And did you? So this is the. Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit actually. But yeah, okay. So anyways, so Paul Level's a serious skeptic. Again, it's fine. Fine being a skeptic because John Hutchison has all these years to make it a bit next level. Oh yeah, yeah. The Hathaway paper. We'll read some of that as well. Even in that, Hathaway is a skeptic in that paper as well. But I believe Hathaway does an interview with Bob Greener and John Hutchison. That'll be interesting to go over. But anyways, I'm just going to go through the next step setups here. MES links recommend extensions. That's old one. I'm going to remove this. So guys, yeah, if you go to mes.fm/links to throw everything in there. And yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff there. I put the 9/11 stuff as well. And I added a music album here. I added the playlist. And so far this one, I'm going to try to put like every Friday, just put the next one. I think there's, let's see the original. Here's the original album. Okay, here's the original album here. 1109, and yeah, there's 7 total. So each Friday I'll just put the album, each one out. So that's the intro. It's pretty epic. Alright, and let's see, there's some pancakes. Okay, next setup. Alright guys, become a super fan as always. Perhaps a stream, change my mind. No, it's alright. I've seen enough to fully buy into Hutchison. Okay, I believe Hutchison got a message right here. Oh, he received that from... Okay, so those photos right here were actually from John Hutchison, sent it to 9/11 Revision. And John, if you're listening, yeah, feel free. I message you on Skype. Just feel free to join the chat whenever you want. Or just message me, and then we'll see if you want to get on the chat or not. It would be pretty epic. And I still want to visit your laboratory. Alright, alright, the next setup is, yeah, become a super fan, guys. $15 and a whole bunch of stuff. And YouTube ad revenue is a lot less now. I don't know what they're doing. But anyways, you get loyalty badges, $15 Canadian a month. Alright, next setup here. Yeah, so this one here, guys, be nice in the comments, especially the flat earth debunking videos I make. Everyone is just going hard at it. And also, YouTube auto removes mean words. So if you're calling someone XYZ, YouTube automatically removes them or hides them. And also, I manually block trolls. I can't handle trolls and stuff like that. But anyways, so be nice in the comments, both for the algorithm's sake and just for humanity's sake. All right, going next, further. Okay, so actually, I removed my Telegram bot. It kept kicking people out, or it kicked a few people, so I just removed. There's no bot there yet, but if I have any spam, I'll start putting it on there. And also Alan Forrest, his birthday is actually January 7th. I didn't know that. Okay, so January 7th, yeah, Sunday. So how many days is that? It's about 14-ish days. Actually, not 4. Yeah, around there. Yeah, so yeah, 13 days ago. So John, so happy birthday, Alan Forrest. YouTube updated their TNC or whatever about. Yeah, I mean, terms and conditions about sensitive events might mean more commission for no more commission for 9/11 videos. Interesting. Yeah, they did update that. Well, Google updated it in general. Let's see what Google did. Let's see. Google. Yeah, so Google just started adding this sensitive event advertising. All right. So right here, sensitive. Yeah. So in February 2024, Google will update the inappropriate content policy to clarify the definition of sensitive events. A sensitive event is an unforeseen event or development, etc. And you can read that there. I'm just not gonna go through that. I just want to stick to the Hutchison more so than usual. All right. Let's see. I got some files from. Okay, so I got some files from 9/11 version. To see this one, what nature tells us. Yeah, this is from Boyd Bushman. And this is Victor Schellberger document there. But interesting here. So here's a paper from the Department of the I think U.S. Army. So so John's Hutchison's he lived very close to me, New Westminster. His address is actually 911 back then, 911 Dublin Street. All right, so that is so out of all the numbers, his number is 911 Dublin Street, and this was like 1992. And I have that scheduled for later actually. Let's see here, and so on his website he has a whole bunch of I don't know why it's not loading quickly. Okay, so I have this scheduled actually for January 26th. I just put these all. I don't want to put upload all at once. So John Hutchison's New Westminster BC home, BC Canada home in 1982 literally had 9/11 in the address, and this is a letter from CIA, and so 911 Dublin Street, New Westminster, and this is the house there. I put the links there, and he lived very close to me. There's him. I live literally right here. So if he was still there, I would have been like visiting him all the time. So he's literally right there back then. I live like 30-minute drive away from him. So here's a CIA letter. This is a response to your letter in which you mentioned not having received response for your inquiry to the Central Intelligence Agency, etc. It's 911. And you could see it from his website here. There's a whole bunch of documents there. All right, so this is from there. The site's not that good here. So you go hudsoneffect.com. Yeah, so so that's pretty crazy. So his address is literally 911. And even more so, his birthday is actually October 19th. So it's 10/19. That's 9/11 backwards if you remove the 0. Let's go back here, photos. He has a whole bunch of CIA documents here, but some of them don't work that probably. Okay, CIA, NASA, PDF archive. So let's see some of these. So DOD letter of regret. This is 1991 here. This is 911 Dublin Street. Dear Mr. Hutchison, thank you for your interest in the Defense Technical Information Center, etc. Anyways, some other documents from there. But in a pro tip, because his website is hard to find stuff, you could just go site : website, and then just search it in Google Images, and you find well, I put Canada there just because it's interesting. So if you go to just Google Images, you could search his entire. So you could use Google to search your own website or whatnot, and see Canada. He has it from official Canada website. Stand down, and then here's a stand down city of New Westminster. Don't let a petty ordinance jeopardize the future of our replies. Support John Hutchison. Yeah, they were taking his equipment. John's equipment on the balcony is not quote junk. The neighbors who have been questioned are not offended. Oh, where is that? He says, I gotta just open it normally. Open image right here. Yeah, so this was in his email printed November 16, 2003. I support John Hutchison. John's equipment on the balcony is not, quote, junk. The neighbors who have been questioned are not offended by his equipment and finding it fascinating. John's equipment is necessary to do his work. John's work may be very necessary to the preservation of the human race, which is what many scientists say. Ask what the city and its representatives... ask that the city and all its representatives cease and desist all harassment of John so that he can work and live in peace. That's epic. This is from Sterling D. Allen. All right, yeah. So yeah, his laboratory was seized, I think, several times. And then this is another interesting. I have sterlingdallin.com, 666 South 60 East. What's all these numbers? I guess like John's 911. This guy's 666. And I have some more scheduled posts actually. So here's another one that's pretty epic. So John, this is from Rational Wiki. They're pretty much controlled opposition. But anyways, they have his birthday. I believe this is right. John, let me know if it's wrong. You can message me or Nile Burgess, or just message me on Skype. And it was John's birthday is October 19, 1945. All right, and yeah, so they used to live in Vancouver, and this is just I have a schedule for the 25th. What's interesting is, so he was born October 19, 1945. October 19th is just 1019 or 911 if removed the 0, 911 reversed, and then furthermore, Andrew Johnson. I didn't have the thingy there. Oh yeah, I forgot to add the other image. But anyways, Andrew Johnson, the U.S. The 17th U.S. president. So John, he's the 17th U.S. president, Andrew Johnson. He's a Freemason. Let's see. It's the 17th president. Andrew Johnson was the 17th president of the United States, serving from there to there. But anyways, he was a Freemason of the Lodge 119. I don't know why I didn't add the image there. So during this time, Johnson also began his Masonic career, being received on May 5th, 1851 into Grenville Lodge number 119. And then 2 years later, he was sworn as governor of Tennessee, etc. All right, going back further. So, and Andrew Johnson is also the name of the 9/11 researcher that runs checktheevidence.com. So we got 119 backwards is 911, and October 19th backwards 911. Anyways, that's next level stuff. John Hutchison website was updated today. No, it always says today. That's just a typo. Every time you go there, if you go tomorrow, it will say updated today. I don't know. Yeah, so if you go yesterday, it will update. Yes, if you go tomorrow, it's gonna say tomorrow. This always has it there for some reason. I think he just has the date. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, yeah, Paul's a skeptic, but his website skills aren't that good. It's literally updated like once a year or once every a decade. All right, I have some videos here. Play this when it's appropriate. It's 2 minutes discussing the effects. Keep going after the fact. That's the reason for all the trucking. Yeah, we'll play the trucking one soon. I just want to get through this stuff. John's website is very, very bad. It's not going to be updating that often. It just has the date on there, but he wrote updated for some reason. All right, let's continuing further. And let's see some more stuff here. MES links as always. All right, let's continue. And all right, and let's continue further. Also, yeah, before we dive even further in, so Ashton Forbes, I got this from 9/11 Revisionist. So I posted this on Telegram. So I posted the live stream right here, and then 9/11 Revisionist shared it on his Twitter. So shared it on X. Let's see scroll all the way down. Actually, right here. So 9/11 Revisionist shared it on Twitter, and it was liked by Ashton Forbes. So he unblocked both me and 9/11 Revisionist, and then he liked. Yeah. So then he shared the live stream trailer. And then shared this one right here. So Ashton Forbes likes the post. All right, let's go. Because I believe Ashton Forbes has been on with Bob Greener, talked about Hutchison effect and cold fusion and so on. So yes, that's pretty epic nonetheless, even though I have second thoughts about it. I question Ashton Forbes' integrity, but nonetheless, he does cover some epic stuff. All right, continue further and... All right, see some more. Okay, Twisted Steel screenshots. Who is that? Ashton Forbes. He's the MH370 guy. I have a whole series on there, so you can just write Ashton Forbes. He was the. It's on this one right here. Okay, search Ashton. So if you just search Ashton Forbes, when I was talking about aliens, but he's the MH370 teleportation video guy, which I think it's just. Alright, so you can start from the beginning. It's those that teleportation one. He was Ashton Forbes guy pushing it. And these are, in my opinion, very, very fake videos. Anyways, you can see a whole bunch of Ashton. He is the leading guy. The guy that didn't pay the bounty, they had some technical stuff. Apparently, They're saying they want the actual guy that made him to get out, but the guy that did come out was the guy who made the images, who made the cloud images, and so on. But there's some other guy saying he did it, but nobody believes him because he says he lost his files. So, anyways, that's another day. But yeah, he is part of the bounty guy. He was offering to pay a bit. The other guy was offering more. The Kim.com. See, Kim.com. Okay, so Kim.com and the Ashton Forbes crew offering 120k to anyone that can debunk the MH370. Well, it's actually anyone that is the one who made it. This is Kim.com re-quoting Ashton Forbes. Anybody who claims these videos are fake, please provide the original videos without the orbs, and I'll pay that. So it's they have some terms and conditions instead of just saying prove it's fake, because it's pretty obvious. Anyways, all right, let's see if I can find it. I don't see him there. Where's Ashton? Alright, so I don't see Ashton liking it. Alright, oh, he must be liking. Just double check that. What did he like? Sorry for sidetracking, but this is what I do. Yeah, so he's liked it somewhere there, unless I'm blocked. So, anyways, let's continue further, and the next setup. Okay, let's try to power through it. Oh yeah, twisted steel screenshots. So if you've seen my other video on the compilation of Twisted Steel, I went in and took screenshots similar to the toasted cars and epics. Look at this. Yeah, so we had this one here is a pretty epic. So you have that glowing metal here. So anyways, you can see all like hundreds, I think it's like 100 or so screenshots I took. So there's that glowing metal there with no presence of heat anywhere, like there, and it just glows. Anyways, this is the subway basement, the subway underneath the WTC, just literally folding or melting like chocolate. Like, that's epic. And this one too is just like completely bending somehow. And this whole thing is warping, this bending. So that is interesting stuff. And I have basically tons of these screenshots. Look at this, all twisted metal, all Hutchison effect like stuff. All right, continuing further. And I'll put a link here. So yes, this is pretty epic. Alright, and continuing further. Video of Hutchison theory. Okay, so this one is, yeah, because I assume a lot of you guys have seen the Hutchison effect. Okay, well, that is incredible. Yeah, so yeah, I tried to put screenshots of everything. And yeah, the subway basement stuff, I've never seen that until like 2 weeks ago. It's pretty epic stuff. And the rapid oxidation, yeah, the rapidly rusting and so on. And we'll get to that. Okay, so the next one, before I go to the Hutchison theory, I'm going to go over and show a pretty epic sarcasm twisted metal video game predictive programming. Yeah, I think the most predictive programming thing I think it's not just like coincidence, it's actually deliberate. Was that Pink Panther? Let's see, Pink Panther 1976. So let's go. 1976 Pink Panther Strikes Again movie literally has a UN tower hit by a DO. And interesting timings, WTC1 was opened on December 15th, 1970. WTC complex finished construction in 1975. Building 7 was constructed from 1984 to 1987. So WTC was pretty much done. And then Pink Panther movie was released on December 15th, 1976, a year after construction finish of the WTC. And on the same day, WTC1 was open. And then including in there, the evil guy at the end, he says that we'll make sure to remember it. And then he just says twisted metal. Let's see this here. Even though there's nothing twisted here. Wait, let's play the okay, audio. Yeah.
4 minutes.
I don't want to get another copyright claim. Oh, whoops! I hate to. Let's go back.
Folks. Can do it! Theoretically, yes. For your daughter's sake, I sincerely hope so. The dreams I had. All the terrible things I was going to do to that sweet child if you fail.
Look, I've done everything you asked.
Not yet. When the UN building vanishes, then you will have done everything I asked. What do you suppose they will call the crater, huh? The Dreyfus Ditch!
There should be no crater.
No crater? But I want a crater. I want wreckage. Twisted metal.
There it is. Twisted metal. Wreckage.
I think the world will not forget.
Well, it's not necessarily copyright. Yeah, Paul is copyright claim. It's as long as it's fair use. I just don't want to. Each time it shows up, I just gotta peel it. It takes a while, but it's not a big deal as long as they show like 30 seconds a minute clip.
Not forget today.
They won't? Wonderful. I have to tinkle again. Don't do anything till I get back.
Too late. The countdown started. 1 minute.
All right. Okay, so he's gonna start doing the do on the UN building right beside Trump Tower, Trump World Tower.
30 seconds.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition!
All right. All right, they just did it. All right. All right, so they just removed the UN building, and then I think Trump Tower is somewhere right here, World Tower, one of them maybe. But anyways, do the do, yeah. So notice, and it was like a mountain in the background. It was cold, might be in Alaska or something. This came out before Discovery, the Hutchison effect, though, the Pink Panther movie. We'll have to ask John himself. That's why I want him on the show. And there's a chance that John's watching. Is John right here? Okay, so John Hutchison actually commented in the live stream. He says, hi, I guess this is from his other channel, Klingon Baroness Princess Carla Nippet Hutchison. Hi from John Hutchison. Oh, me, see the new setup, thanks, all right. And this is from my personal account. I said, oh, wow, hi, John, would you like to join the live stream? So, John, if you're looking at this, it's going to be me and you live stream. Let's go, baby. All right. Hudson effect. Yeah, I believe Hudson was at least 80s or before. I would say 70s. Okay. So Hudson, I believe he was doing it a lot longer before, because he was born in 1945 apparently. Unless that article's wrong, because that's older than Trump. That's pretty epic. All right. Because I think that's probably a typo. I don't think he's that old. All right. Okay. So we haven't seen the compilation. I'll go to the compilation of the Hudson, and then we'll go through. Some guy made a theory of it, and then we'll continue further in our journey. It's pretty epic. So I have these all in the scheduled post. A lot of these, just because I want to time it. Let's go scrolling through. Let's see, where did I add it? I think I have a compilation somewhere. Just hard. There's no searching on the. Okay, this George Hathaway there. Okay, I think it's one of these. This Red Bull can, and this is a bowling ball. I think one of them's a bowling ball. Okay, so it's right here. So okay, this is a epic compilation of the Hutchison effect, which includes a bowling ball and other objects levitating. And we'll play this I got it from YouTube. Let's play this one. It just has music though. Okay, so you got this shaking, and it's like turns like jelly-like setup here. Yeah, 1950s 1010 as well as talking about dustifying whole buildings. Yeah, that was epic. I have that posted. Okay, it's all levitating stuff here. I'm gonna make double speed so it's faster forward. See some, actually 4 times speed. Let's see what he has. Okay, so it's moving like jelly. This coin starts to go inside it. So yeah, John, if you're listening, I want to visit your lab. Even if you don't have it set up properly, well, I can help you recreate it, and then I'll just film it all live, and we'll do it during a live stream as well, so everyone could literally ask questions. A bowling ball is ceramic, yeah. Yeah, so he can lift a whole bunch of. There's a plate too. There's a regular plate. There's a saw, I think, and then there's water too. Okay, so you get plastic as well as lifting. There's a wrench. Let's slow it down and even this liquid starts levitating upwards. All right, I'll show you the boat one. The boat one's cool too because it shows the water vibrating, and this goes along with this guy's theory that it's vibrating the actual atomic bonds until they break, until they resonate, such that they're bigger. Why not repeat these experiments? Yeah, no, 100%. Like, so I understand all the skeptics. I understand your point, like. Because like mainstream science, we can literally go and plug in something in our wall and it works. We don't need to question it. So alt science needs to do something like that. Oh, the Red Bull can's pretty epic too. I have that scheduled as well. Everything's okay. There's a bowling ball. It's double speed, and it starts levitating and turning. That's cool. Yeah, the boat shows the fire effects too. A lot of this was filmed by TV crews that came to visit him. Yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking he's had Fox News, Fox, The Guardian, CBC, even National Geographic. He's had a whole lot of people involved in this. Alright, there's levitating and so on. Okay, so that's some of the Hutchison one. I want to see the boat. The boat one. Oh, here's a pretty cool one as well. As 1979 Pakistan International Airlines PIA ad shows a plane silhouette on the Twin Towers. This is from 1979. All right. In 1979, again, this is all around the time of the WTC Twin Towers being constructed / finishing construction. This was pretty much, yeah, they know what's up. All right, so that was the compilation there. And yeah, speaking about the Russification, this is the Bankers Trust or the Deutsche Bank building after when it was taken down. And then because it was right beside the WTC, and then inside was literally all rusted. The columns are all rusted. And then there's also a weird fire on that. Yeah, so there's a weird fire, but it looks like the metal is being on fire, and like 2 firefighters died, and like 100 were injured. This was much later in 2000. I think this was let's see what the date was. August 18, 2007, and they blamed it on smoking, workers smoking, but it's like the whole building's empty because they're taking down all the floors, so there's literally nothing but like some wood panels and all steel. Yeah, and then the fires look next level as well. All right, and that was this was what occurred to it right beside the there's some parts of the Twin Towers there, and just kind of like the whole thing's kind of ripped across there, and it was right over here, this building, right beside, and where's the tower? This is gone, completely utterly gone. All right, and so I again have this scheduled for later, but let's just see some more stuff. This is the Red Bull can. Let's see these. Let's play it on bigger. Okay, on YouTube. Okay, let's see the Red Bull can. And someone had a good comment here. Yeah, with the boat experiment, the water also levitated. Oh, interesting. A lot of this is filmed. Yeah, at the Pancake, you can also see spontaneous fires break up. Yeah. After the fact, I think I showed one of the videos there, or at least they were talking about the fire just wouldn't be put out. Okay, so there's the can. But the quality of this video is like, why is it so bad? Okay. I mean, it's just splitting in half, I think, or like shaking. Okay, I have a double speed. Speed it up. All right, just moving. All right, we got some ghost like stuff here. Okay, this turns and all right, just flings upside down. All right, so that was that one. Let's play some more before we get to that theory. The guy had a pretty interesting, pretty compelling theory as well. Okay, this is the toy boat, toy aluminum boat one, and this is similar to the weird fires in 9/11. Yeah, John Hutchison, boat experiment. Note fire effects and wobbling of boat, and also the water vibrating. The water vibrating is the key. So the water's vibrating when it's on. Yeah, so the water's vibrating. And now you're going to have a weird fire just start randomly. And I think it's an aluminum boat here. It's weird fire. Just make it double speed. Or you got to get some more stuff here. Okay, the whole thing's shaking. All right. Okay. All right. And yeah, there's another weird fire, and it just moves across. But the vibrating is cool because you could see the waveforms in the water, so you can see the whole thing is literally vibrating. Okay, and there's weird fires on and off. All right, that is epic stuff, and. All right. Yeah, so that was cool stuff. And now, I think there's another one. This is George Hathaway talking about these. And I have some other scheduled posts here. Okay, this is magnetometer data from Alaska on 9/11. And let's see what else we have. Okay, let's go back to the thing. Okay, let's go back here. All right. Video of John Hutchison theory. Note that when it's Ron Muckle says, note it's when the effect turns off, the fire started. Yeah, I think it was off and on. I sent Hudson effect levitating and bending wrench to MES lengths. All right. Levitating. Let's see what you got. MES links chat. Okay, so methyl. Let's see this one. Video one. Ace Baker never showed up. Oh, it's the Ace Baker one. Yeah, Ace Baker is an absolute clown. Let's see. Is there audio? John Hutchison video one. Ace Baker never showed up. Okay, this is a wrench. Double speed it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's turning. Okay, and it just flings. Let's see some other stuff.
A jelly wrench, I guess you call it, liquid wrench. Zooming in on it. It's not hot. Touching it, it's solid. Interesting.
Holy.
I guess I got another metal sample for Pete's sake.
Okay, and actually, yeah, Ron Muckle, if you have, I think you sent me a link before of the eBay, of his eBay links to buy the samples. If you could send that to me, message me on WhatsApp, I'll add this to the chat. It'd be pretty epic. Okay, this one here, earned by tapping screen. I don't know what that is, but we'll do that another day. Let's continue further. I have a whole bunch of stuff. See the time actually, because I'm gonna have to. I just want to jump through. Okay, we have 24 people. Okay, I like this direction of this line. Let's keep it pumping, guys. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and other stuff. All right. Okay, so the next setup here. Okay, so we've gone over those, and now you basically understand the Hutchison effect. It's just a bunch of weird stuff happening to samples. Actually, before we get to the fire one, this is what I wanted to show. Speaking of the fires, similar to 9/11, there's weird fires. And I have another scheduled post here. So you got literally firemen walking in fire, like, and they're not worried that it's hot or not. He might not even have looked at it, or it wasn't hot enough to even bother worrying, or he just didn't worry about it. And there's some more weird fires all next to paper. And there's trees, unburned paper everywhere. So the idea is, how did these get set on fire? Like, what's being, like, whatever got this on fire did not come in the direction where the tree is. Or these papers are. Okay, that's the YouTube Telegram bot earned by tapping screen for downloading YouTube Telegram. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. That'd be epic stuff. Okay, continuing here. So here's another weird fire. All with no like source of it. How did it just start setting on fire? This is like a block away on fire, and there's one of the few beams that are actually outside the footprint. Like, this is just maybe something happened to it there, but again, not much. And there's this one right here. You can see this is used by the disinfo crew, saying it's molten metal, etc. Well, if this was molten, these pressure chambers, etc., will all just stop working. Like, this is not hot, and these fumes are not hot as well. It's got a whole bunch of stuff around there, but anyways. The paper and tree are not ignited, but the metal is that's unbelievable. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what's the metal setting up? And here's another weird fire on top of a car. Again, similar to that boat experiment, just suddenly turning on fire. And the thing is, there's a lot of different kinds of evidence, including witness testimony. I think I had one here. Let's see a witness testimony. Someone saying that their fire truck just exploded. So this one, 9/11 witness testimony, Lieutenant Rene Devaille says he witnesses fire truck randomly explode. I've showed the other one before. Someone levitated. This interview was on October 12, 2001 from New York Times. Okay, so King of Dice 66, what happened to you, my man? I used to enjoy your math tutorials. I guess math eventually made you crazy. Okay, go away. Go away, King Clown. Like, I don't know, what are you supposed to say to that? When you have a complete, lunatic just trashing you on your live stream. Like, we're going over next level advanced science right here, and you have a guy, an absolute. All right, yeah, just go away. Like, we don't have to deal with this guy. Actually, I'll just leave it. If another nonsense comment like that, you're gonna get banned. Like, absolute clown. Okay, I'm gonna actually unview this. It's like we're talking about free energy tech. Governments like literally murdering their own citizens, and this little clown is saying you've gone crazy. Like, okay, absolutely insane. Anyways, got rattled up by this clown. All right, So anyways, going back here, so this is a firefighter saying a witness literally his fire truck randomly exploding. Don't engage with him. Well, I'll just say go away. If he continues that, I'll just block him. Like that's the thing. I give everyone at least a chance or two. If he has anything constructive to respond. All right. I guess C is laughing. Let's go. Yeah. Like it's like what are you supposed to say this? This anonymous no name guy is either he's a troll or I don't know what he is. Or just a bad human being. Okay. King of Dice, bro. He still has math tutorial. I still do math. Yeah, I actually do a bit more. And okay, while we're walking, yeah, I was also contemplating doing like 9/11 or just conspiracy stuff on a separate channel, but I'm like, you know what? No, let's just. People have to get used to it. They come for the math and learn real stuff. It's like math is a means to an end, which is to be smarter. And then 9/11 is important stuff. Okay, let's go here. Okay, fire cars are popping. Yeah, I just want to read this here. And 9/11 Vision sent a whole bunch of stuff. We'll cover some of those. So anyways, so here this one, the guy says basically all we do is go around the building, come around, but it took longer than usual because you're walking in like this, like you move and it's this soot, like heavy dust. While we're walking, I realize that we only have 2 people. I see my vehicle. The seats are covered. I still got my bag. I hold it like a trophy, like people collect basketballs. I haven't touched whatever the force was. It was so strong that it went inside of the bag. What's he talking about, force? But we were there. Vehicle 219 was destroyed. Was it on fire? The guy says, what? Was it on fire? Fire. We saw the sucker blow up. We heard boom and it just blew up. So that's another spontaneous explosion. All right. Yeah. So yeah, Jeremy. Yeah. I still do the math tutorial, and you comment a lot on the math tutorials, asking how is it gonna dominate the world or something. Okay. So continue further. Let's see. There's another one I want to show. Okay. This is George Hathaway. We'll show his video on that in a bit. All right. Continue further. Okay, so video of Hutchison theory right here, and then we'll go through this one, and then eventually we'll get to the George Hathaway well, it wasn't really a metallurgical analysis. It's a paper on it, but then he provided the metallurgical analysis to Dr. Judy Witch, put it in her book, and I have a bunch of screenshots to show as well, just because she doesn't like sharing the PDF, so no PDFs, but I will try to convince her if she ever talks back to me. All right, let's continue further. I can listen to as this EMT saw happen. All right, actually, let's play this right here. Let's see this video.
Almost immediately in the days following September 11th.
Okay, normal. I'm getting sent some stuff from 9/11 Visionist. This is the truckloads of stuff. Because there was some ongoing chemical or nuclear reactions going on. Let's go here.
These dumped. Almost immediately in the days following September 11th, there were these dump trucks that were hauling these loads of fresh dirt in and dumping them on the fuming rubble pile.
Documented in Dr. Judy Wood's book and on the website is the activity of various trucks that were actually bringing in dirt to the site. Repeatedly, this was spread around within the World Trade Center site, moved around with earth-moving machines, and then it was taken out again, as if there was something in the ground that was being soaked up by the dirt and then taken away. So it's like they knew that this energy was, to use the term that we came across in research, in John Hutchison's research, the energy was non-self-quenching. It didn't quench, it kept on going.
Dirt is not used to cover smoke from a fire. Maybe a toxic spill or something like that, but conventional smoke does not continue emerging from saturated dirt for months. So we can
it's actually years. There's a 2008 video as well, Judy Wood's showing it.
Say that something is definitely strange here. Why were the remains of this fire truck sprinkled with what looks like moist potting soil? Clearly it didn't suffer from an out-of-control fire in these places. This is a photo from September 13th, and we can see dirt all over the place.
Yeah, but also 2008 as well, at least. Judy Wood and Andrew Johnson have videos of literally them still throwing dirt, and it was still fuming. All right, let's see this here. So tires, this is firefighter Patrick Connolly. Tires and cars were popping, and they were just starting to light up spontaneously. Another one, firefighter Todd Henney. We were just starting to put out the car fires and the rigs were going. Ambulances. I mean, there must have been 50 of these things burning heavily. The Scott cylinders and the oxygen cylinders were all letting go. They were all blowing up left and right. All right, a whole bunch. So it was a huge ambulance. It must have had Scott bottles or oxygen bottles on it. They were going off. You would hear the air go boom, and they were all exploding. So we stretched a line and tried to put that out. As I was running up there, North Park, 2 or 3 more cars exploded on me. They weren't near any buildings at that point. I don't know what was causing them to blow up. I figured it was the impact of the building falling and residual effect. I'm not an engineer, so I can only and I can only guess at a probable cause. I don't remember feeling any extreme heat. I remember parts flying off. I think I got hit with a car. I remember they were also on fire, but I don't specifically recall the movie type fireball, but there was a loud bang as the door flew off the car, the one car I was running past. Okay, so it's just doors are flying off. And this is a EMT is saying that she witnessed actually cars exploding, and some FBI agents or someone told her to watch out for a certain block. See, zoom in.
Jessica Maldonado.
And where were you and what were you on 9/11, the day of the 9/11 attack?
I was an EMT in New York City. My office was from the Bronx, New York, and I witnessed everything that day. I was on duty that day. And what happened that day was a lot of confusion, a lot of hurt. It was just, it was horrible.
It wasn't what they told us.
It was not what they told us. It was not what was on the media. It was totally opposite.
Totally opposite.
A lot of the stuff that I witnessed was not, was covered by the media. It was not shown. One of the things that I saw was we were helping the firefighters put out a fire 2 blocks away from the buildings. And a bomb squad came and they told us not to go in that block. And we were all like, okay, why? Why won't we go in that block? And we, stood back. As soon as we stood back from that block, the cars were just exploding, just coming up. Just
individual, like yes. Each one had bombs in them.
I don't know if it was bombs, but they were exploding up.
Wow.
It looked like someone put bombs under them or something was in it. But how did the bomb squad know to tell us to move away from them,
exactly.
Even before we were going into that block?
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people witnessed this with you?
It was quite a few. It was a group of us. It was at least 10, 15 of us.
And they took pictures?
Yes. They took pictures of the surroundings. They took pictures of a lot of the flames, a lot of the burning building. Right before one of the buildings came down, they took pictures of that. We took pictures with the disposable cameras that we had in our rigs. And we always have a crash kit in each of the in the rigs. And that night, when we were all home or wherever we were at, we got a phone call from our superiors telling us to hand over the disposable cameras. Government officials wanted the cameras. They did not want us to develop any of the pictures that we had. But we kept them. We all have pictures.
God bless you.
Yeah, so that's pretty epic stuff. So she witnessed the bomb squad telling her watch away from a block before they're even going there, and the cars just start exploding. All right, that is epic stuff. And also, she says that they wanted to confiscate the cameras. So that is again, that's pretty epic stuff there. And then speaking about that is, let's see, footage. Let's see, I think this was camera, no photos. Okay, yeah. So this also ties into that. So on September 26, 2001, New York City banned photographs or videos being taken from the WTC site. So no more photographs of World Trade Center site. This is literally September 26, 2001. Statement said that the ban was issued because the site is a crime scene and that cameras and video equipment could be seized. So like, what is going on here? And also interesting, more than 6,300 people are missing and feared dead in the wreckage. This is literally about 15 days later, they're still missing. Since the day after the December 11th attack, no survivors have been pulled out since that day. That's interesting. Only bodies and body parts. Wow. Okay. So bomb. Here's a link to Nidal Versionist Substack. paper. Yeah, so Nylon version has got like archives of everything, right? So check that out. And there's a link there as well. That's the EMT there. All right, let's continue further. Okay, so we covered that. I'm gonna go through the guy's theory. Okay, so this guy's theory is, where's the theory? Okay, so video of Hutchison effect theory. There's another one I want to find, but that guy's channel is like, I think it's deleted or they made the video private. All right, so this is from Mud Fossil University. This is he uploaded this like 7 years ago before he was this big. Let's play this.
Is the Hutchison effect, and what this does, this guy's been around a long time, and I've been watching his work, and it's spectacular.
Yeah, the quality is really bad, but bear with me. Just listen to what he says.
Spectacular. Now, what he has done, and I think I understand this now, I'm going to try to explain it to you the best I can, in the atomic realm. Now, he has created frequency generators that literally shake the molecular structure inside of the atomic bonds that hold the little particles in place. They can only stay in these certain regions, and he's shaking them so violently that they're becoming unglued, literally, and he ends up with what you see on the screen here. Now, it's called the Hutchison effect, and I'm doing this in the Fair Use Act, and so I'm not making any money on it, but I'm going to show what happens. Now, I'm going to run this for a second, and I'm going to try to explain what happens here.
Theories are coming up almost weekly on what this.
He's saying
here.
theories are coming up weekly.
Conventional physics,
He can lift things.
kilowatts of power to do this. There's no radio waves or anything that can do this. There's no electrostatic fields or lightning bolts that can do this. So in the way the theory is, key waves made up of electromagnetic and electrostatic fields that I produce, opening a doorway into another dimension that allows any kind of amount of energy to come in and do this, to create these effects.
This appears to be what Rodney Warren has done with light, and I will show you that in a minute.
We've had larger samples, of course.
Now, he's talking about terawatts. That's a lot of juice. Rodney has accelerated light beyond light speed through a Manchurian, and it may be in that range. I'll show you that in a minute.
For mankind and also for
You see that this piece just separating right there?
propulsion and space travel.
This guy is a good
I don't
guy.
go into mathematics at all. I visualize things and always joust, so to speak.
See this?
He's
He's literally
Yeah, look at the vibration of the water.
shaking the molecules of the water violently.
Through math.
Now look at
I
this. You
visualize
can
this
melt
and I put it in the best words that I can.
the same thing.
find.
Bonds in.
I can actually see the atoms.
Look at he's
I
melting
can
it.
see the different interactions of the dimensions inside of an atom.
And this is not unknown. It can be done.
King of Dice, can you upload this sort of stuff on conspiracy, easy solutions? Leave this one for math. I'd rather not. I have an MES Truth one for other stuff like that. But again, judging from your comment, I'd rather just keep it on. Because I have some. So we'll go back to that. This is my other one. This is my other one where I put other people's channels. But nonetheless, this stuff is pretty interesting, and I think this one, especially if it's science related. This isn't conspiracy. This is literally science. Like whatever you think a conspiracy is. All right. So and the conspiracy is people use they have a bad connotation for it. But anyways, so King of Dice, it's not gonna happen. So if you ask nicely at the beginning, then maybe. But you become a clown. Let's go.
Explain it in those terms, visualize it, and actually do it physically. But mathematically, I am a basket case when it comes to trying to understand mathematics.
And the mathematics are I mean, I think they could be done. I couldn't do it, but it relates to the amount of frequency needed to shake a particular bond and rip it away
To the exotic math
and let it
and the
fall
lost
apart.
cause, so I must rely
So
on
anyway,
intuition.
I'm going to show another piece shows the actual melting of metals. Well, you're going to see it here.
Doing it, making the thing in reality instead
Look,
of
watch. He's exciting this.
Alright, actually, so Methyl Miner says everything MES posts evidence-based, not conspiracy. Well, conspiracy is a good word. I like your math tutorials. I learned so much from them. Well, you could be like this guy here, yeah. So, but the thing is, you like my math ones, but you're calling me crazy. So something's up. Let's go. Math came. So here's one person. This is why I like having the channel. This person says, I came here years ago for the math. I stayed for the truth. Much appreciated that you would risk the platform you clearly worked so hard to build to get the truth out there. And another thing is, math channel is actually, the math videos is what actually very likely kept my channel alive, because, like, for example, 9/11 Revisionist is on his, like, 3rd or 4th YouTube channel, because they keep deleting it. So the YouTube algorithm actually looks at, YouTube algorithm actually looks at the overall channel, not just the videos. So if the overall channel is conspiracy stuff, a very high likelihood of getting deleted, especially if you're covering things that are hot topic like 9/11. All right, so this person right here says he came for the math. So you could be like this king of dice. Came for the math, stayed for the truth. And there's another one actually. This other one actually came to MES for 9/11 truth. So this person says, I came here for 9/11 truth and flat earth debate in probably 2016 to 2017. Now I just want to learn math. All right. So this is some epic stuff. Okay, so now Paul Level says it's the best live stream yet. Yes, that's why I scheduled it early on. So this isn't a math tutorial. You can scroll. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's either King of Dice is either either a troll or something. But anyways, this is a math. Okay, we're talking science, math, epic stuff. Okay, continuing further.
There's a little bit of backbiting, but there's a lot around the world of scientists, very high-powered scientists, that were involved in the old Star Wars program, talking a lot of this now.
Actually, also, Timothy Sullivan, he's a super fan. He got his trophy there. Great stuff today. I'm not commenting much because I'm watching you from my treadmill. Epic stuff. Let's go. And send a video of how fast you're running. Might show it on the stream.
They get into the psychic aspects of it, also the physics aspect of it also. A lot of the work is coming out, released. Lawrence Livermore. Still, Los Alamos is a little...
That was a zillion years ago, and it's all,
Saturn now,
I don't know, covered up or whatever you want to call it.
He's the head fellow involved in non-lethal weapon technology.
It's the only thing they're interested in.
Ed Gaines is now out of the ISCOM.
Anyway, these melt. The metal melts, so I can show you another shot. All right, here's another one. Now, listen to this sizzle that you hear.
Yeah, actually, I hear. So Joe Lafayette says, is it possible to find somewhere in one place all the most beautiful images in high quality covering all the most visible? Yeah, buy Dr. Judy Wood's book. Has a whole bunch of stuff. So here's a pro tip. So you can go her book /buy. Buy the book. Has everything there. Uploaded my Hutchison effect collection to MES links to epic stuff. And another thing is, what you could also do is, you can go site : Dr. Judy Wood, and then go, let's go, whatever you want to search, anomalies. Anomalies. And then you can go, let's see, Google, see what they have, see what she has. Okay, so she has a whole bunch of anomalies here. Here's, this is from like years later. This is fuming there, stuff like this. Weird rusting. So you can literally use Google Images on for your own purposes. But beyond that, if you got MES links, okay, I should put the thingy there. I have 2 sets of like a bunch of photos in one place. Let's go to Hive links and notes. Investigative math. That is true. It's like reality is trying to uncover what reality is. You use everything at your disposal. And if someone calls you crazy, well, the mainstream, they're wearing 3 masks, so what are they? Alright, that's the thing. Okay, so here is this compilation of Twisted Steel, and here's a compilation of the car. So these are 2 links of a whole bunch of photos in one place. So you go here, and you can see literally like 500 photos of twisted cars. So this is one area of finding a whole bunch of anomalies here. All right, so if this car's upside down, all right, and it's still fuming. That's interesting. All right, let's continue. Let's continue back in our journey. Okay, so this one shows that same video here, way back.
Rodney, when he does his lighting.
And this video he's showing, it's hard to read, but this is actually Abraham Havas Rodriguez, the guy who called out Richard Gage years ago.
experiments. He's using a venturi and putting a laser through that venturi.
Okay, so what this guy's talking about is actually later on in his video, he actually talks about someone claiming to make faster than light speed by going through a venturi. A venturi is a, let's say water. It's one of those Bernoulli principle stuff. Can you do a tutorial on Fourier series? I think I'll eventually do that. So what I started doing is every weeknight I try to focus on math stuff there. Fourier series, yeah, I'll eventually get to the Fourier series, and then I'll be putting them all over here. But like what I do is I just follow my calculus book. That's what I started the math channel to learn math. I didn't actually start it to teach math. I found that teaching it was the best way of learning. And it's similar to 9/11 and all the stuff I'm doing right now. It's Venturi. Okay, it's the whole idea of Venturi. How does this Venturi work? God, this one actually. This water goes through and then squeezes through. Anyways, he talks about near the end for light, but I'm not going to show that part. It's for another day. Fourier series. Yeah, I think I'll eventually do Fourier series. I'm just doing a whole bunch of stuff at once. Because again, YouTube doesn't pay much. So if you want Fourier series, you could become a super fan. And if I could do this full time. All right, let's continue further.
Venturi, and I'll show you what happens, and it gives him a sizzle as well. So it has something to do with what's going on here. Now watch, listen. You hear that? Now watch what happens to this piece of metal. This is a block of steel or something. Inside, the bonds are shaken. They're shaken so hard and so violent that finally it just can't hold itself together anymore. And this is what happens. And the heat inside is obviously because you're shaking it like you're, beating it up. And that's what you end up with. Now, I'm going to show you something else that it just shows exactly what happened.
Out of the test area over there.
All right. And again, fair use.
Put some paper on in the hallway here.
And this is the guy, Abraham Hoffs Rodriguez. Okay, now I'm going to show you something else. It's just going to show you this. You can't hardly deny it. All right, I used to do this.
All right, now he goes through some of the papers. But yeah, so Kimudas, yeah, I was following the James Stewart one. The textbook he has, I think, is one of the best on learning it. But so when I started my channel, I was actually doing my master's for mining engineering. And then when I would wake up in the morning, I would do a video and then go to school / my master's, whatever I was doing, working on. I was working on a project, and again it was to learn math because I found that math is one thing. If you don't do it, you just forget everything. So you just gotta keep going on it. Anyways, yes, the Stewart one is a pretty epic book, and let's continue here.
A lot, as you can see here. This thing is filled with all these kind of equations and this and that. And now, what I'm going to tell you and show you is that the way, whoops, can you see this? All right. The way a molecule, or the atomic bonds inside of molecules, which means you got a couple of different centers. The nucleus is, everybody knows what that is, the center, and then you got a bunch of electrons around it. Now, that's the nucleus, you see? And then you have electrons around it, and they bond with other things, you see? Now, you have a literal length of distance that electron has to stay at. They're, the regions in space that are away from this, and they are way away from it. It's amazing. But anyway, they can only occupy such a region. Now, I'm going to show you what happened to a bridge. And you think of this, that if you hit this with a frequency, and we know these will vibrate because quartz crystals, piezoelectric crystals, give off an exact frequency. That's how the clocks run and all that business, and you get sparks and everything. Now, we know that if we vibrate this, we'll create electricity. So, we know that if we vibrate this and we shake, well, I know, this is my suspicion, and I believe it's fact.
Yeah, also, nobody says yes. Yeah, so if you vibrate some crystals, they give off electricity. And now if you do the reverse, you throw electricity in, it starts vibrating.
If we shake this...
yeah, so Jeremy says, oh yeah, so Matthew Nas. Okay, so Matthew Nas, next week's going to be pretty epic if you're in there. All right. Looking at exotic vacuum objects control. Yeah, for sure. I saw some of the exotic vacuum objects from Bob Greener. That is something to cover. Going further, yeah. So nothing else. Says good live stream. You're covering Hutchison well. I recognize the voice. He's the one that researches ancient mud fossils. Interesting. Yeah, this is the first time I saw this video when I was searching for this one here. And then so King of Dice, I learned math in part from you. Then I attended university, electrical engineering, epic stuff. That's great. Yeah, keep expanding your mind. Yeah. So the thing is, assuming you're not a troll, I've had so many trolls that they like just block. Assuming you're not, the thing is, you have to go first. The first thing to similar to me, I avoided quote conspiracy stuff because my ego got in the way. Like I thought I was smart by doing engineering, and then so my cousin always told me, oh, 9/11 inside job, etc. And he says it was explosive demolition. So I never believed him. Because I'm like, I'm too smart for all this. And then when I realized Dr. Judy Wood's work, I'm like, okay, this is 100% right. Towers, yeah, so he was wrong. It was not explosives. They literally turned to dust. Like, just look at the evidence. Or just look at the before and after photos. And that's all you need. This is literally all I needed was just the front and back cover of her book. And here is a photo with labels. So, like, what I mean is... Okay, so if you look at this photo, this is the Twin Towers, 110 floors high, 500,000 tons each, and then this is after. It's literally the same spot there. There's the little rubber pile. So if this is what if me believing that this is not due to explosives, not due to gravity collapse, they literally turn to dust. If someone calls me crazy, then I am the craziest person to have ever lived of all time. And here's Building 7 still there, so it's all still day of 9/11. So just this photo alone. Anyone who looks at it with a working brain cell has to put down pretty much everything they're doing and just go full on 9/11. So anyways, that is epic stuff. Okay, let's continue further on this guy. He shows some cool stuff.
Long enough, and that's the key, long enough at the correct vibration, it will start to resonate and it will get this huge wave. And what will happen is it'll literally rip that electron away and let this thing do whatever it wants, and it'll heat up and it'll do all kinds of things.
Yeah, so notice what he's saying. Basically, vibrate it until at a set frequency, it starts oscillating in bigger resonance, and then basically rips apart the atomic structure.
And melt it. And I don't, there's all kinds of things. I don't know what could happen in there, but it's atomic destruction. Now, I mean, it literally is. The damn thing will be shaking like hell, and then all of a sudden, boop, it combusts. It'll fall apart. It'll turn into other metals. I mean, that's just it's going to happen. Now, and the reason why is that? I mean, why wouldn't it just settle back there and be fine? It rips itself apart. You can only go so far. You can only stretch that bond, and when you do, as this thing waves, think of how first of it's this long. And then it's a little longer, and then it's a little longer, and then it gets way out to long, and then it's gone. And that's what, it's really almost like linear, what do you call it, this spin, angular momentum. It's a linear momentum on this case. Anyway, now, so we know that these things are bonded, and they're in a certain area. And here, now, I mean, I'm loaded with this stuff. So I'm not just kidding around and playing games here. I know what I'm talking about. Now, and see stability, they have to be in a certain area to stay stable. Anyway, that's just the way things are. Now, I'm going to show you, hold on a second. Okay, nature is just elegant. Where do you see this? Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapses. Now, listen to this. This is deadly. Hold on.
Yeah, so the same idea of resonance looking like right here in the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse. Let's see this.
That no man can fail to hear.
No man can fail to hear. Hold on.
In a 40-mile-an-hour gale, the center span weaves like a ribbon in a swinging twist that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, so apparently wind started like gradually moving it back and forth, bigger and bigger and bigger until it collapses here. Alright, King says, I post some math tutorials on my channel too. Not in English, in my native language. Still like your channel for the math part. Good luck in your... Yeah, well, yeah, thanks. That's a turnaround before. But yeah, so if you have good stuff, I could share it as well. But again, I just don't like people insulting me. But yes. Hopefully you like my stuff. Because I'll still do the math stuff. I just follow the calculus book. What I'm also doing is started uploading sections. So I usually do like a couple hours and then a video that's usually a couple hours long, and then break it up into a bunch of sections. And I'll get back to that. Basically, what I do that's weeknights. I just work on that typically. All right. Anyways, thanks for that. And going here. So Ron Muckle, Evos feed on electrons. Interesting. Yeah. So I actually want to get Bob Greener and others on the show. It'd be epic stuff to learn from.
Possible unless you could see it as you do now.
Wait till you see this guy. I think he wanted to save his car.
There's an automobile caught on the heaving roadway. The 11,000 ton
No, there's a guy going to the car. He's not actually trying to save it. There's his dog in there. So the only person that died was a dog. He went to go get the dog, but the dog was scared. That wasn't the owner trying to get it. So then it just stayed in there. It was like biting anyone that was helping out, and then it just fell down.
Span twists and strings the giant cables that support it. Cables of 6,300 wire strands, each 17 inches
Now,
thick.
here's the key. It didn't snap like in 10 seconds. This took a few minutes. There it goes, but it just kept getting worse and worse. That's the key to the whole thing. Whoops, hold on. This is a little loud, I'm sure.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, so now it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's pulling itself.
All stricken spectators are driven to safety as the bridge gyrates like a nightmare high above the river.
All right, this is what Hutchison's doing. At some point, it just can't hold itself together anymore.
The lone motorist is forced to abandon the car.
Look at this guy. He doesn't know whether to go back and get his car.
His destiny hanging in the balance.
This
Will he heed the last warning?
is hilarious.
With the doomed structure?
Oh, well, I guess I lost my car. Yeah, I guess so. Hey, what are you going to do?
It just collapses here.
But he saved himself by
Why is he still near the bridge? It's like, run away.
Can you imagine? Probably had a lot of payments. All right, hold on. Here we go. Anyway, here he goes. He just can't hold it anymore, and that is what Hutchison's accomplished. Nature's just showing you the whole thing right in the front of your face. Open your eyes and you shall see. All right, and the way
and what's interesting actually, Judy Wood actually says the same thing actually in 2008. So this was 2016. So he probably saw a video of Judy Wood. Judy Wood said the same thing near the end of this one right here. She mentions the Tacoma Bridge in 2008 interview with John Hutchison and Andrew Johnson. That's video 2. I have it in the link right here. Video 2. Let's click the. It's in video 2. In my notes. She mentions it near the end. I highly recommend watching this. This is January 18th, 2008. And I think she mentions it near the end. But anyways, we'll get to that in a bit. So I wrote here. Let's see. The bridge. She mentions it in there. Or I probably didn't type it. But anyways, let's continue further in our journey. So you saw that whole idea of resonance and then the Tacoma Bridge. And I have a better upload here scheduled for later. Okay, the Tacoma. Where's the Tacoma Bridge? Okay, I could have sworn somewhere it's the Tacoma Bridge somewhere in here. Tacoma Bridge. I think once I started doing this stuff. Okay, should be somewhere. Another story. No. Hutchison. Okay. I'm gonna do a last search, just because you can't search from on the scheduled messages. All right, I got $33 epic stuff from C. Let's go. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Let's go. All right, guys, that's 33 euros. How much is I think that's 33 pounds. 2 CAD. How much is that? It's probably like $100 or something. $55. Let's go, baby. We're just taking over the game. Thanks a lot. All right. Let's go. Okay, it says infrasonic energy was used as wavelength needed. Oh, yeah, possibly. How do y'all... So good to have an extensive look at John Hutchison and his work. He is a brave man, but what with his experiments and affidavit, Dr. Judy Wood's court case. Thinking freely and humor. Yes, he is great. Yeah, what a donation, guys. Epic stuff. You guys follow C's lead and throw some cash at me. All right. I have to find... Oh, there's a Tacoma Bridge. Okay, and this one includes some of the timings here. So, Tacoma Bridge collapse on November 7th, 2040. All right, no way. This is 1940. Unless this is predictive programming, guys. So, if something happens in 2040... Let's play this one here. Actually, I'll play the link here. Open the link. Remember 10% fee. Okay, so 9/11 versus gets 10% fee. That is true. He does deserve it. All right.
As you can see, this bridge was exceptionally long and narrow. Over half
Start of construction opened July 1st,
a mile
1940.
long, only 39 feet wide. It lasted just 4 months.
Oh, now the version says C33. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. The 33.
During construction, we see the steel girders, 8 feet tall, which were supposed to stiffen the bridge against bending. However, some up and down vibration was observed during the entire useful life of the bridge.
All right.
Here's opening day.
So, I don't want to get copyright. Just keep going. Okay, September 7th, 10 a.m., 1940, start of resonance vibration of bridge in toroidal mode. This is twisting mode.
On November 7th, the bridge suddenly went into a twisting motion. The wind speed was a steady 42 miles per hour.
So 42 mile per hour winds somehow collapsed the bridge.
This was enough to keep the bridge oscillating in one of its natural modes of vibration with a period of 5 seconds.
Yeah. That's epic. I think it's just...
A professor of engineering went out to see what had happened. He's coming back, walking with some difficulty along...
Well, the professor of engineering is going there. If he was a real professor, he would be running away from it. Why are you running towards it?
The nodal line, which is the center stripe of the roadway.
Okay. Okay, so he's running away now. This is surreal. Open 7-11, collapsed 11-7. Interesting. Open 7-1. Yeah, yeah, you're right actually. And it collapses literally like 11 a.m. or 11:10.
It's remarkable that the girders were this flexible. This is photographed at normal speed.
Okay, that's normal speed, guys.
However, a collapse was inevitable after a little more than an hour of this.
Yeah, basically 1 hour of turning like that. Right. Holy. Okay, it's still going. That is surreal. Imagine you're the engineer that designed this. like what in the world did he design?
The car had been abandoned earlier. No one was injured in the whole affair. However, a small dog in the car was frightened and was afraid to come out, and he perished along with the bridge.
All right, so he just says no one got injured, but then he says a dog died, and then obviously the comment's gonna be like, the car was abandoned and no one was hurt in the accidents, thank God. However, a small dog. All right, why would he say that? Let's do it again. Why would he say that?
The car had been abandoned earlier. No one was injured in the whole affair. However, a small dog in the car was frightened and was afraid to come out, and he perished along with the bridge.
Okay, and then 11:10 a.m. Interesting, almost 11:11. November 7th. Yeah, so there's July 1st, 7-11. 7-1 and 11-7. Interesting numbers. It just falls like that. And also September was the old 7th month, so that's interesting. All right, that is some epic stuff. Let's fast forward to this. Triple speed, see what else is happening. Whoops.
The new bridge. The bridge was rebuilt using a stiffening truss instead of girders. The new bridge is completely stable.
Alright. Okay, so anyways, that is epic stuff there. Let's continue further. What was this MES links? Oh, I just watch it. Okay, this is way back. That's the EU Parliament building. Literally looks like the Tower of Babel. Alright, let's continue further. And now that I want to get through. Okay, so next setup, let's keep going in our journey, and let's see the time, let's see the live stream stats. We have 25 people. Let's go. Okay, this is up to us. Let's pump it up. $48 revenue. I think YouTube took the cut, or 9/11 Versions took the cut. All right, let's go here. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see how much time we have. Let's see the time. 1:24. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get 30 minutes, and then I guess this will obviously we're gonna need a part 2 or 3. Hutchison Effect's got a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna put a timer. But 30 minutes just because I gotta go to a niece's birthday party. Okay, the new bridge was built with a front splitter for aerodynamics. Interesting. And then, yeah, small dogs notoriously evil. Interesting. Okay, started here, sound off, and let's continue here. Okay. Oh yeah, but yeah, so I want to go with the George Hathaway stuff. That's 100%. Okay, so we had the John Hutchison affidavit. We'll get to that just before we end this. Tacoma Barrows. All right, so okay, so John Hutchison. Where did towers go? Okay, so where did towers go? Tesla Hutchison effect. Okay, first of all, yeah, actually, we'll go this now. Come on, people. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, for sure. Smash the like button, guys. Just don't break your keyboard, but it might be worth it anyways. Break it. Okay, so Hutchison effect affidavit. So as always, affidavit. David. So again, like always, John Hutchison literally swore in court, saying that the saying that 9/11 involved the use of a scaled up, refined and/or weaponized versions of the effects that I named the Hutchison effect. So literally levitation of heavy objects and so on. So he's swearing in court that stuff. So put that is there. So we've covered this several times. Put this for any new viewers. Put that there. Okay, the next one. Okay, so where towers go? Chapter 17, Tesla Hutchison effect. So again, page 349. So you got to buy the book because she doesn't like sharing the PDF. So that's not going to be happening here. So if you're sharing as well, don't share it. But again, I got to put this note so if she's watching. So DJW Dr. Judy doesn't want people sharing online PDF copies. MES is however, MES is against all forms of censorship, especially self-censorship. So I disagree with her premise. If she changes her mind, I would recommend an official PDF and webpage / article version of her book that keeps going alive. And then if she updates it significant enough, she can publish a new edition and actually get and just finance her efforts through that. And so anyway, so page chapter 17. Let's go to it. So I took some photos. So again, no sharing PDFs. Let's go here. And this comes to the George Hathaway. So she actually contacted George Hathaway to do metallurgical analysis of the samples, and she has uploaded it on her. She posted in her channel. In her book. Okay, so this is from her book, and this is right here. Metallurgical analysis of Hutchison effect samples. So metallurgical analysis of several Hutchison effect samples were done by Dr. George Hathaway using a Hitachi scanning electron microscope SEM with an XRF detector. The results are shown in figures 381, 382, and 383 for steel, aluminum, and brass, respectively. For each of these three figures, A shows the unaffected virgin samples, and B shows the Hutchison effect affected HE affected area on the sample. In general, the analysis were done using an area scan. There's a bunch of info. Well, we'll go through it anyways, because I get a refresher. It's been a while since I read the book. In general, the analysis were done using an area scan as opposed to a single spot on the specimen. The elemental analysis given by XRF is only a surface or a few microns depth analysis. The vertical axis of each plot represents specifically the number of X-ray counts at a particular energy, but can be roughly taken to represent the relative amounts of each element in the sample area. The horizontal axis is the X-ray energy in kilo electron volts, keV. Each element has several specific energies called lines, which are used to identify it. The first and most important of these are the so-called K alpha, K beta lines. The alpha line being, guys, got a bunch of info, being more prominent than the beta line. For instance, the K alpha line for nickel is 7.4 kilo electron volts, and the K beta line for nickel is 8.2 keV. Anyway, so Hutchison effect steel samples unaffected area of sample. So you have a sample, then there's the unaffected Hutchison effect, like the one that wasn't affected by it, and then the one is affected. You'll see the big changes in the different metals right here. Let's go open a new image right here. See what's some stuff here. So HE affected area of, okay, this B, this part A unaffected area, and then HE Hutchison affected area of the sample. So you have a bunch of weird changes right here, a bunch of spikes on this one here, and so on. So you have this similar iron light there. Okay, so the iron, Fe, magnesium, M, and chromium peaks are about the same height, and so on. All right, so let's see. Methyl Miner just bought the book today. Epic stuff. Yeah, let's go. We should get an affiliate program. That's the thing. JD that's should actually try to monetize it just to, again, it's for the it helps in promotions. All right, so here's another vertical lines. Anyways, this is another one. This is given by Dr. George Hathaway. And this is a Hutchison aluminum sample. A is the virgin unaffected area, and then B, HE affected area, and you see a whole bunch of changes in this one, and so on. And there's a big drop in this aluminum. So this aluminum looks like it formed different metals right here. Yeah, so this one is almost entirely aluminum. The big spike, basically it says the big spike is how much of the element it is. It's just showing as a bunch of aluminum, and now aluminum is changing to a bunch of other these other chemicals there. That's interesting. All right, symbol here, atomic. This is some more technical stuff here. Let's see, some other stuff. This one here, Hutchison brass. Okay, so yeah, so this one again, some metallurgical stuff. It's beyond the scope of this analysis, but anyways, but the key idea is Dr. George Hathaway literally is saying that this is what his analysis showed. You're going to have elements changing from before and after the Hutchison effect. Like, in other words, this is literally cold fusion type setups, or possibly, yeah, something like that. Anyways, so that was the George Hathaway. Now we're going to get to George Hathaway. Actually, we'll get to here. See what else. The next one. Where'd ours go? Metallurgical and electron microscopy. That's page 366. Yeah, that's one we just covered. And chapter 17 is the actual Hutchison effect set up here. All right, so I'm going to go. Actually, I'm going to read George Hathaway's paper here. All right, so George Hathaway's paper. Here's the links to it. Again, I have these scheduled for January 23rd. Let's go to the PDF, MES PDF, in case the websites go down. And here's the PDF. And let's read some of this. This is George Hathaway, 2009. This is pretty interesting. So Hutchison effect sample description analysis. George Hathaway, he published this in the paper, let's see, which was the paper at? Archive. I didn't put an archive. But anyways, yeah, so he uploaded this to Materials and Science Technology Conference in 2009 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And let's see right here. It also mentions psychokinesis. Oh, that's a bit out there. So Hutchison effect metal samples description analysis. For a decade starting in 1980, this author was closely associated with amateur Canadian inventor John Hutchison. Okay, what is the atomic number of aluminum? All right, okay, so we got Paul Lovelace wants to do some chemistry right here. Let's do it. Go back to atomic number of aluminum is 13. Yeah, okay, so 13. Atomic number, and then yeah, then you could also see, yeah, so 13, you could possibly see, try to combine the numbers and see if those match up with the new elements that were formed from the, also, I mean, this is called transmutation, yeah, transmutation. Yeah, so you can actually check if those, that graph is right based on the atomic numbers and what is before and after. So that's something, if you guys can do that, and make a video or document, and I will review it, and then if it checks out, I'll publish it on MES links. All right. What are the adjacent elements to next atomic number? Let's go periodic table. Elements. Let's have a look. Let's go to wiki actually. Okay, let's have it right here. Let's go. And okay, so aluminum should be somewhere at 13. The next one is going to be silicon, and then you got this the phosphorus, and then this is S is that fluorine, I think. So it reminds me of my stuff. Oh, super chat was for MES birthday, and yes, Matthew is 33 Freemason. No, my goodness. Oh no, keep that quiet. I'm actually I turned 36, so that is pretty interesting. So super chat. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, see, anyways, yeah, so Paul, these are the elements: aluminum 13, silicon 14. Let's see what's the next one here. Where's the 12? Okay, this one here, magnesium, and then you got sodium, and some other one, neon. This one is fluorine. This is sulfur. Yeah, not fluorine. This is sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and barium, I think, or boron. All right. That is I'll put this here for anybody who wants to. Yeah, 36. That's I'm the 36 degree Freemason now. Have you heard the theory of the periodic table as three-dimensional? Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that, but I saw it from that other guy, that Walter Russell guy. He had a pretty interesting periodic table setup. Anyways, let's continue reading further right here. So for decades starting in 1980, this author was closely associated with amateur Canadian inventor John Hutchison. Hutchison had discovered that certain arrangements of high voltage AC and DC generators, as well as other equipment homemade or salvaged from military surplus, could cause severe plastic deformation, being rendered jelly-like delamination, spontaneous dealloying, and unusual magnetic properties in metal samples. The metals most often used as samples in his experiments were commercial-grade aluminum, copper, brass, and various steels. And samples were typically placed on a wooden board in the center of a ring of a high-voltage equipment. But at 1 meter minimum radius from the nearest apparatus. No coils or electrodes were positioned above or below the samples, nor were any electrodes in contact with the samples. In some cases, both the metal samples as well as non-metallic samples, e.g. wood, plastics, paper, organics, would levitate. The total power used by the equipment was 1.5 kilowatts drawn from household mains, and the experiments would last 1.5 hours to 6 hours. This author, as well as other witnesses, attended some of the experiments and saw metal disruption as well as levitation. Films and videos of varying quality have been taken of the events. Several experts in metallurgy have concluded that the samples provided to them were not made in any conventional manner. No explanation has been given to date which offers all aspects of the quote Hutchison effect, although the charge of fakery has consistently been applied. I think there's people pushing our disinfo agents, especially like Ace Baker. CEM images and various analysis will be presented, and samples will be available at the lecture to allow the audience to decide veracity of the unusual origin of the effect. So, interesting stuff. Because polysilicon is very interesting that it's next to aluminum due to its conductive properties. Sodium is extremely reactive. Imagine if you turned a building this atomic sodium, it would instantly evaporate. Interesting. All right, yeah, that's an interesting take there. So Paul's going in deep with the science. Okay. All right. My brother just messaged me saying I got to buy the cake for the niece. All right. Okay, continuing so before reading further. I actually wanted to read the whole thing during the live stream. That would be epic. But I want to go to the Hathaway. So George Hathaway, right here. I think I have it. Okay, so the Hathaway. I think I included a clip of Hathaway actually talking several times. Let's go to the Hathaway. It should be right. Okay, so that's gone. Where's the Hathaway? Could have sworn it was somewhere. Oh, this one. Okay, George Hathaway in the 1980s discussing the jellification of Hutchison effect samples. So just so you know who he's talking to. Okay, my dad went to join the Freemasons, but he was denied. Okay. Oh yeah. So C says stop inventing new degrees. Well, I think I heard from Bill Cooper that Freemasonry has like hidden degrees, like 3 hidden degrees or something, or something like that. Anyways, Jerry Bartlett, my dad went to join the Freemasons, but he was denied. I think they said he was too evil, but they didn't tell him that. Oh, interesting. All right. This is George Hathaway in the 80s.
Samples show the incredible
it's like
power
all in 1 year.
that is inherent in the Hutchison effect. in terms of breaking apart solid pieces of material, including aluminum, metal, steel, and melting quartz, which is that. The samples that are on the table here generally came from that time period and demonstrate.
Okay, yeah, it's hurting my ears actually. I'll try to fix the audio and then I'll upload that, fix that up on the thing. But anyways, this is George Hathaway. That's him in the 80s. And here's him with the samples in Hutchison's lab and so on. And yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff here. Check this out for periodic table stuff and how it relates to it. What do you have? Ron Muckle. All right, and going further, so that was George Hathaway. Let's continue reading the paper. It's pretty epic. So introduction while tinkering. Yeah, so you can't send links here, guys. You can send links here. Okay, Paul Love says methyl. Think about that. If they transmuted the building to atomic sodium, it would instantly react to the moisture in the air. Interesting. I think we might be on something. All right, yeah. So we can do some magic. Come make this live. See if this shows up better. Okay, welcome live. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Yeah, so Ron Muckle, okay, he's the guy that disappeared a whole building. That was the John Hutchison. I think you sent that video as well. He was talking about the disappeared whole building or something like that. I think this was there. Okay, Hutchison had friends manage to make buildings disappear. Okay, this is interesting.
So there's this Canadian scientist named George Hathaway, and he was at John Hutchison's lab a lot throughout the years, documenting his experiments on video camera. He wrote a book about them, and in John's affidavit, he talks about how George told him that him and Alex Sherezky, while they were working at a lab at 13th Street, they disappeared most of the building above them and shocked the insurance company that came by the next day.
Yeah, so apparently this affidavit, sometime in the period 1987 to 1989, I was told by Alec Sherezky and George Hathaway that while at the lab at 13th Street, most of the above the building vanished. The insurance companies also said that this had happened. I didn't know what was going on.
Oddly enough, some of these things actually did happen. We had a whole building disappear in 1987 when I was with
What?
I'm not kidding.
A whole building.
I did not see it myself. It was my workers there who worked with Boeing. An insurance agent was to come down to insure the laboratory.
Right.
And basically, he came down and found no building, just an empty lot.
All right. So it disappeared a building. Some Thanos-like stuff. Okay. Buildings turn to dust. Yeah, I think. They did turn to dust, but I think you're saying they transmuted into atomic sodium. So if you're testing the sample, but I think they tested the samples. I'm not sure if it was all sodium. So that's the thing. But yeah, dust turning into whatever. Dust is just small particles. Anyways, this video. Yeah, okay, so methyl miner. I think you had the agent. My TikTok's actually getting a lot of views now as well. Let's see. I just want to see how much views you got, so then I'll show the link. Christopher, sorry I'm late to the stream. Is there any info on the book Bob Greener and John Hutchison are writing will be available? And I actually heard it from you first. That was the first time I heard it. So I heard Bob Greener and them writing a book. And again, like if John can message me on Skype or something, I get a lot more info. I think for a part 2, either with him or Bob Greener, or even George Hathaway if he's still around. So Agent Oregon. Let's see how many views. Okay. Yeah, I hate when it does this. It just crops everything out. Interesting stuff here. Agent Oregon. Here's TikTok. Yeah, so Christopher, I haven't heard anything about that. I'll try to message him. I messaged John on Skype trying to get him on the stream. All right, let's go here. Boeing. Okay, so Boeing. Okay, so this is from Nile Revisionist, the Directed Energy Professional Society, and who's inside Boeing and so on. Here's some more links. Anyways, let's go back to the thingy because I have 11 minutes before I start having to rush. Okay, so I will continue further here. John Hutchison. Okay, I'm gonna close this. Let's continue reading right here. So while tinkering with high voltage equipment in the early 1980s, Canadian experimenter John Hutchison discovered a series of phenomena collectively called the Hutchison effect. The Hutchison effect is a collection of phenomena lying far outside our normal experience and understanding. Its primary manifestations include causing or allowing objects of any material to lift into the air, either in a vertical or looping trajectory, or to hover, severely disrupting intermolecular, intercrystal, interlattice bonds in any material, resulting in catastrophic disruptive fracturing, causing plastic deformations of metals, creating unusual aurora-like lighting effects in midair, inducing changes in the magnetic state of metals, and altering the chemical distribution of metal alloys. All these effects were produced on test samples placed on a rough wooden table where the closest piece of apparatus was about 1 meter away. No connections were made to the samples whatsoever, and the entire apparatus operated from 1 or 2 household electrical outlets. Wow. Currently, there's a plethora of sources offering information and commentaries about the Hutchison effect in the early 1980s, when various symposia and conferences on novel energy and propulsion technology, along with the work of Nikola Tesla, were an almost yearly occurrence. The Hutchison effect was introduced. And yeah, I'm just going to read the whole paper, guys. It's pretty epic. And a lot of it's going to be images. It's for my own purposes. And then once this is read this, I'm going to end the chat. And you could send me messages, or send me questions about this if you have. So in the early 1980s, when various, yes, I read that. I'll read it again. In the early 1980s, when various symposia and conferences on novel energy and propulsion technologies, along with the work of Nikola Tesla, were an almost yearly conference, the Hutchison effect was introduced. So in the 80s. Okay, so someone was asking before. It was before. So the Pink Panther was before Hutchison effect, it looks like, or at least was introduced. So I mentioned it during one of my lectures on proper measurement techniques at the 1983 Second International Symposium on Non-Conventional Energy Technologies in Atlanta, Georgia. So again, this guy's written from 1983, and then 2009 he has another, this is the paper in 2009. So he's been writing about it a long time. So in other words, Hutchison effect is real. This is just using your deductive skills. The first public disclosure giving technical details and results of engineering measurements was given by me at the 1988 New Energy Technology Symposium in Hull, Quebec, organized by the Planetary Association for Clean Energy, Ottawa, Canada. Thereafter, articles appeared in numerous venues. This is 1, 2, make this centered. And now a Google search of Hutchison effect on internet reveals about 4.4 million results as of this is March 9th. Or January, March 2009. So the Hutchison effect is a system comprised of 3 components: various pieces of high voltage apparatus, the material under the test, or MUT, and Hutchison himself. This paper will give an overview of the effect of the system on various materials, primarily metals, and describe briefly the apparatus associated with the production of the various phenomena. In the context of this paper, it is instructive to describe John Hutchison himself. Okay. Alright, we have Paul Lovell says, I now think the Hutchison effect is real. He is knocking out electrons out of the orbit and transmuting elements. He transmutes them into unstable elements, and thus we see catastrophic sample failure. Alright, so Paul is a believer now. Let's go, baby. But again, nonetheless, I still have sympathies with your skepticism, your prior skepticism. Like John Hutchison, this is important stuff, needs to be done. Like, it's like 100 years from now, we're not going to be talking, oh, Hutchison effect is real. We have to actually produce something ASAP. In the context of this paper, it is instructive to describe John Hutchison himself. John has lived virtually all of his life near Vancouver, British Columbia, so literally right next to me back in the day when he was here. He has no formal training in material science, engineering, or physics, and has no post-secondary education. During his most prolific, inventive times during the 1980s, he was stricken with bouts of mental illness, including acute agoraphobia. I think it's like a fear of working with people. Let's see. It's mental. Agoraphobia is a mental and behavioral disorder, specifically an anxiety disorder characterized by symptoms of anxiety in situations where the person perceives their environment to be unsafe, with no easy way to escape. These situations can include public transit, shopping centers, crowds, and queues, or simply being outside their home on their own. Being in these situations may result in a panic attack. Those affected will go to great lengths to avoid these situations. In severe cases, people may become completely unable to leave their homes. Interesting. All right, so he was living on a government disability pension in the basement of a house where he had established a small laboratory and machine shop. And I think that was the house that is 911 Dublin Street. Many things are incomprehensible. Yeah, Nyla versus says, Paul welcomes his Twilight Zone. Welcome indeed. Many things are incomprehensible to us, not because of our reason is weak, because the nature of the thing does not fit with the range of our concepts. Interesting philosophy there, Joe. There may... Yes, then going further. Alright, yeah, so Nyla version, I saw that thing. Yeah, I'll show that video at the end. I want to try to finish this. We have a few minutes left. I'll finish the whole paper, and then I'll show that that clip you made of John Hutchison acting crazy. And then we'll end it. This is for my own sake. I'm reading this. All right. So going further. Yeah, so he was living on a government disability pension in the basement of a house where he had established a small laboratory and machine shop. There he would experiment with Tesla coils and Van de Graaff electrostatic generators, amongst other electrical apparatus. One evening, while several pieces of high voltage equipment were operating, a piece of phenolic. What in the world is phenolic? Colorless crystalline solid compounds are an image. Okay, so this stuff right here. Okay, it's like a circuit made of. Anyways, it flew through the air and hit him. Upon further investigation, he determined that he could make objects of any material fly or hover after being placed in certain spots within the assemblage of apparatus. Subsequently, he noted that various pieces of metal stock of all shapes and sizes stored on shelves, and on shelves had mysteriously bent, fractured, delaminated, or otherwise suffered catastrophic failure. Eventually, he was able to control, to an extent, the fracturing and disruption of metals. However, he was generally not able to control whether they would fly or fracture. My involvement with John started in 1980, and in subsequent years, I and several other independent witnesses observed metal fracturing and levitation of various materials. My formal involvement with John ceased in the 1980s, but I still maintain contact with him. My goal during that time was to investigate the phenomena from a scientific standpoint if possible, and to develop ways to make the phenomena more repeatable and controllable by understanding how the physical apparatus interacted with the MUT, or material under test, material under test. This I have not been able to do. It is the goal of this paper to demonstrate how unlikely it is that the apparatus by itself can have any effect on the MUT. Something else must be involved. It is my suspicion, and that of other experts in the field, that John Hutchison himself may be an integral part of the system. That's I think it's a bit out there. I think it's something to do with the interaction with the ether. Anyways, John Hutchison's apparatus has gone through many iterations since its first version in 1980. His original physical setup was primitive, crowded, it had poor connections, hand-wound coils, and no circuit diagrams. It was all cobbled up together seemingly at random out of John's head. He could not explain the specific function of any of the components for any particular aspect of the resulting phenomena. In fact, I'm the only person to have ever drawn any circuit diagrams. The circuit shown in Figure 1 is the earliest of three from the period of 1980 to 1986. A time during which the Hudson effect was working well. So that's interesting. 1980 to 1986 working well. This is the first publication of such a diagram, and also interesting page number here. So of the conference and symposium, whatever, or proceedings, this is on page 667. So literally, the page after 666. So all the papers before it just ended at 666, and then 667 is the. I just find that pretty interesting. Anyways. From an electrical engineering perspective, the overall assembly of components and their interactions are completely nonsensical. I've examined in detail 3 different versions of the apparatus, and all are wired differently. Although certain key components are maintained, recent experiments by John over the past few years indicate that even these components are not necessary. John himself divided the apparatus into 3 main sections: electrostatic, radio frequency, and substation power supplies. The first section consisted of a Van de Graaff electrostatic machine and various other pieces connected to it in various ways. The RF, or radio frequency section's principal components were large handmade Tesla coils, more correctly called Tesla transformers. In the earliest tests, a small radio transmitter accompanied the large Tesla coil, but in later tests, a small vacuum tube driven Tesla coil and a double-ended Tesla coil were used, with sometimes no other radio frequency source than the large Tesla coil. So a large, there's a bunch of random stuff here. A large jumble of additional components were variously used, including high voltage capacitors, spark gaps, inductors, and coils of various types, and homemade bits and pieces. Power for the entire apparatus came from either one or two common 110 volts AC wall plugs plugged into common wall sockets. These supply mains power for the high voltage transformers and other voltage power supplies, as well as a small Tesla coil and Van de Graaff electrostatic machine. In addition, John usually put a weak radioactive source in a metal tube somewhere near the active area. Interesting. John's method of interacting these various pieces of equipment was simply to string low voltage insulated wire from one terminal to another. This hookup wire was typically kept apart by hanging it from strings fastened to the ceiling, figure 2. There was actually a reason why this was done instead of properly routing the wires from device to device. That was because he continually moved the device to slightly different positions during the tuning phase and usually between experiments in order to maximize the effects. There are too many components in figure 1 to detail in this brief report. Table 1 enumerates the main components used in the 3 versions of the apparatus during the time of my involvement in the Hutchison effect. Alright, let's go here. There's people commenting here. Okay, Sofa World, I believe there's a flat earth. I don't think electrons are real. The atom model is mathematically useful, but fundamentally something else is going on. Well, electrons are describing something, so it's you're saying they don't exist. Well, what do you mean they don't exist? It's like your interpretation of them could be different, but they exist in terms of in terms of an actual physical thingy. All right, going here, table 1, main components in Hutchison apparatus of figure 1. So 1, 2, 18, 2, high voltage power supplies fed from power mains. It's 18 and 21. Okay, this is from here. 18, he's got here, 18. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over too much. High voltage power supplies fed from power outlet. Jacob's ladder, spark gap, a fluorescent tube with coil and metal ring, stack of wire, toroidal coils. Okay, time expired. I'm gonna have to speed it up. Typical spark gap, double-ended Tesla coil hung from ceiling, tank circuit, main Tesla coil not connected to real power. This is 35 centimeter diameter aluminum sphere with coil below, so he has a whole bunch of stuff. 200 kilovolts, Van de Graaff electrostatic machine, main quote tuning section, HV capacitor, spark gaps across, small vacuum tube Tesla coil, mains powered, and loose wound coil with center connection only. So there is the diagram right here. Just got to make it up sideways. See if I can make it sideways quickly. And there's live stream. And let's see. Hutchison effect. PDF. I just want to make it sideways. And rotate. Rotate. Okay, you got to pay to rotate. Unbelievable. All right, so we'll do that for another day. Alright, that's interesting stuff here. Actually, I'll do it my own way. Copy. Okay, so we copy this. Just want to have a look at it. I think I have it already. In the post right here. Okay, yeah, so somewhere here, I think I put it in here. Yeah, so there it is. Oh no, I haven't rotated it. It's unreal, like what? Just edit, and then, whoops, edit. Just want to edit the thingy. All right, so we're having difficulties here. Exit. I'm just gonna post this, and rotate. Just freaking rotate. Rotate. No. Okay, I do it on the phone. Okay, anyways, I give up. I'll do that another day. Let's continue further. I do want to finish it though, because it's pretty interesting. Anyways, Hutchison effect circuit diagram from October 1982, made by the author, so made it over here. Hutchison effect, figure 1, August 6, 1982. Big stuff here. So the circuit in figure 1 is a complete circuit diagram of an operational Hutchison effect apparatus. So if you want to make it, put a whole bunch of stuff like this and do it. Okay. And going further, the circuit in figure 1 is a complete circuit of an operational Hutchison effect apparatus, not a condensed block diagram as can be seen from figure 1. Neither the large Tesla coil or the double-ended Tesla coil are energized in a conventional sense. It is entirely unclear what the function of the main tuning section 17 is. So 17, yeah, this one here, there's a tuning one. He doesn't know what it's used for. Is nor any real power can be transferred by a stack of loose wound toroidal coils of about 15 centimeter diameter separated by 5 centimeter. And then NC means no connection. So no connection. NC. This NC, no connection, just a loose wire. NC, loose wire, no connection. Field strength measurements were made by this offer, as well as spectrum analysis of the electromagnetic environment during operation. Typical field strengths, 8-inch vertical loop magnetic sensor were well below 100,000 microvolts per meter. The dominant frequency components were at 800 kilohertz from this small vacuum tube Tesla coil, which was the only Tesla coil normally powered from 120 volts AC mains. Additional noise was contributed by the occasional firing of one or more spark gaps. So there's John Hutchison. It looks like, is that his real hair? It's pretty epic. Or a wig. And so he has a whole bunch of stuff flying everywhere. Loose connections, some random Tesla coils and stuff, and then magic happen. Anyways, figure 2, John Hutchison at the main tuning unit 17. Main components are left to right. So left to right. Large air coil, number 10. Somewhere here, above white box, large air coil. Might be this one. Or this. A double-ended Tesla coil hanging from ceiling, number 7. Actually, this might be it, hanging from ceiling, or double-ended, hanging from it. So it might be this one hanging in the air. Okay, this is some epic stuff here. Field shaper, a large aluminum ball on white support tube. That's so you should put the numbers on them. Field shaper, large aluminum ball right here, possibly that one, or this one. White support tube right here. Main Tesla coil 11. It should be that one maybe. Van de Graaff machine 13. Okay, so Method Miner says we should make a time limit of John Hutchison and include his different haircuts alongside. So yes, for sure. All right, so okay, so people are just discussing the nature of the ether / electrons or other stuff. Anyways, interesting. Going further, various HV power transformers behind John and below Van de Graaff. Samples were typically placed on a small table behind. So behind it might be that table. All right, and then Hutchison effect metal samples for his machining purposes. John used primarily commercial grade aluminum, steel. Yeah, steel. Commercial grade aluminum, steel, both stainless and non-stainless, brass, bronze, and copper. These were typically flat, round, and fasteners. And square bar stock. However, metal affected could be of any shape. Tools, pliers, files, and fasteners, nails, screws, threaded rod were also affected. Aluminum stock could be cast or extruded. In one control experiment, a molybdenum rod was bent up. In order to affect the MUT, the material under test, John first placed several different materials under test, typically on a plywood board situated between the high voltage equipment in a certain fashion, and tested the resulting electromagnetic field structure by means of various measurement instruments, including a fluorescent tube for electrostatic charge determination. After apparatus had been energized for periods of 1 and 6 hours or so, usually 1 or 2 of the materials, never all at once, would either fly off the plywood or break apart or bend in an unusual manner. John was not able to control when the action would take place, or even if it would. Some days nothing happened, and other days would see effects after about 1 hour or of the apparatus being energized. There are several modes of metal disruption that were part of the Hutchison effect. 800 gigs is nowhere near enough energy to knock electrons out of orbit. There must be something else going on. EVOs or yeah. Right, going further. So heating. There are several modes of metal disruption that were part of the Hutchison effect, including heating. The sample, typically ferrous, may be brought to incandescence with small sparks flying from it, but no heating effects are seen on the plywood board on which it is placed. No electrical connections are attached, nor are there nearby power radio frequency heater coils. Small coins of copper and nickel adjacent to the sample are unaffected. Jelly metal. The sample, usually a cast aluminum bar, is seen to quiver as if made of jelly. On occasion, drops of what appears to be molten aluminum are seen to fall from the sample. The sample is on paper or cardboard, which shows no signs of sensible heat. In one case, similar to 9/11, paper doesn't burn. In one case, a common steel cut. Okay, I'm getting a phone call right here. Just 1 second. All right, 1 second. Mark? Oh, what's up? Yeah, I'm doing live stream right now. Yeah, I just muted the mic, okay. Okay, I had the mic muted and let's see if I'm back on. Yeah, I had a phone call. I'll try to speed it up. I do want to finish this though. I do want to finish this, or how much is more? Yeah, actually, I'll finish it. It's not that much more. It's just a lot of images after this. Okay, going further, jelly metal. Yeah, the sample, usually a cast aluminum bar, is seen to quiver as if made of jelly. On occasion, drops of what appears to be molten aluminum are seen to fall from the sample. The sample is on paper or cardboard, which shows no sign of sensible heat. In one case, a common steel cutlery knife, which had lain on top of an aluminum flat bar, was found to have literally sunk several meters into the aluminum bar. The knife appeared to not have been affected. Delamination, the sample, usually an extruded aluminum bar, opens up either at the end or in the middle into uncountable and small fibers. The lines of delamination appears to be along planes parallel to the extrusion direction. In many aluminum bars, the delamination occurs at the center and the bar is literally pulled apart into two pieces. Here it appears as if the metal was grasped at the ends and pulled apart by tremendous force, resulting in severe delamination into fibers. No evidence of grips which would be necessary to pull the metal apart can be found. Clean fractures. Some samples, notably steel, simply fracture apart either in directions parallel to their long axis or at other angles. Alright, MES, we're in this chat literally coming up with an accurate description of Hudson's fact on atomic level. Okay, interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm reading this stuff for my own. I'll look at the chat as we go through it, but I need to finish this quick, and then I'm ending this chat. So you guys can keep talking while I keep chatting while I finish this. So clean fractures. Some samples, notably steels, simply fracture apart either in directions parallel to their long axis or at other angles. Steel samples such as flat files have fractured in several places, and the resulting faces are magnetized. However, adjoining faces are magnetized such that they repel each other. Normally, fracturing of bar magnets results in adjoining faces attracting. Severe deformation in ferrous or non-ferrous samples. Typically, bars or rods, the MUT material under test is twisted into bizarre shapes as if the metal was in a completely plastic state. No heating effects are seen on the surface or interior of the MUT, nor are grip marks which would indicate a forced deformation. In some cases, the MUT is bent into a completely tight U shape with no attendant flattening or bulging at the bend. Pitting, gouging, or other small volume metal removal occurs typically in ferrous MUT, either at the one or both ends or at the middle of a bar or rod. In some cases, the case hardening of a case hardened shaft has been blown off into powder, revealing the softer material underneath. Interesting. So literally dustification. Crumbling, approximately 6 millimeters of the end of a large 52, for example, diameter steel shaft crumbled like a cookie into small millimeter across crumbs and dust. So crumbling, turning to dust, while lying on a wooden board. Later examination of the board revealed no evidence of heat, but a 2 to 3 millimeter indentation in the shape of the shaft. De-alloying, the typical commercial aluminums have fairly well distributed alloying elements, e.g. This copper, magnesium, silicon, and then iron. Upon being placed in the quote field, this is a scanning electron microscope and EDX. I'm not sure that is an electron microprobe analysis reveals blobs of pure elements situated along fractured lines, apparently coming out of solid solution. Figure 7. In the case of ferrous MUTs or materials under test at locations of severe deformation, visible patches of copper appear. Interesting. So you got copper appearing in these patches of this iron samples. All right. Okay, so people are talking to people literally solving Hutchison effect. And then, okay, so yeah, Ron Muckle's big on the he's big time on the Hutchison effect, cold fusion, or chemical chemistry. I believe he's a chemical engineer or chemical science background. Anyways, Rockwell B, ASTM E18 type of this is the hardness testing on a deformed 6 millimeter diameter molybdenum rod. See figure 3, showed a corrected HR3B of 95 in the area of deformation versus 91 on a control sample. SES scanning electron microscope images taken from a typical delaminated aluminum sample. Figure 5 depict individual fibers of cross-sectional dimensions down to the tens of microns, they exhibit a random mottled or uneven. Let's see, mottled. Is it marked with spots? Yes, it has spots. Uneven with rounded surface, free of sharp corners and edges, as if melted and resolidified. The SEM's images of mild steel samples were crumbled. Figure 6 appear to have planes of striation patterns consisting of myriads of regularly spaced pits or bumps, as if a periodic waveform of some kind on the order of a few microns periodically had permeated the structure and caused fracturing along the striation planes. Note that the highest frequency components of the Hudson apparatus are typically less than a megahertz, greater than 300 meter wavelength at extremely low field strength. Additional images of Hutchison effect metal samples can be seen. So here's some images of them. So various fractured or bent metal samples, ruler scale in inches from author's collection. Foreground L to R, left to right, twisted aluminum bars. Elenco cow magnet, so one of those over there. A small fractured aluminum bar, this one right here. This might be the cow magnet. Twisted aluminum angle bar. Yeah, this one might be there. Twisted, or this one here. Tightly bent and fractured steel boring bar. Fractured and melt steel nail. Oh, that's interesting. Delaminated aluminum bar. So delaminated aluminum bar might be, yeah, this one right here, delaminated, it's like coming off. Behind ruler, L to, yeah, this is behind actually, this is behind, that's not the cow magnet, one of these might have been. Large case hardened steel shaft with case hardening blown off at the top and severe pitting, so there's like, I think a hole in there. And severe, yeah, and right here. Pitting a large mild steel bar with end part crumbled away, so literally dustified. On ruler, bent 5.5. It's on the ruler right here. Bent 5.5 inch molybdenum rod. Interesting. So here's another one. Close up there. Close up of some items in Figure 3. Delaminated aluminum bar and mild steel boring bar. Color. Yeah, this one right here. Bent there. Color photos shows small copper globules came out of solid solution at the fracture point of the steel boring bar. Oh, interesting. And going here, here's scanning electron microscope right here. Scanning electron microscope of typical delaminated aluminum bar, aluminum samples. You get literally at the atomic setup, just fracturing apart. All right, and then yeah, so here's those little spots everywhere there. The scanning electron micrograph of fracture surface of crumpled end of large, large iron bar shown in Figure 3. So Figure 3, I think it's this one right here, large one there. So zooming in there, electron microscope, we got a whole bunch of globules like that, or whatever these are. All right, going further, this is a scanning electron micrograph of polished aluminum surface of typical aluminum sample shown in Figure 3, indicating globular concentration of alloying elements. C is virtually pure copper, B is virtually pure magnesium, D is a control position indicating the inner surface of the fractured zone is aluminum. Okay, so A, so this is, yeah, so C is purely, this one here is purely, yeah, this part is purely copper. B is purely, yeah, virtually pure magnesium. And D is a control position indicating the inner surface. So you have D. This is what it's supposed to look like, and then you have separated, I believe that's what they're saying, separated into pure magnesium, and C is copper there. Interesting. Interesting stuff there. Alright, let's continue further. Oh, conclusions. Okay, so we're basically done finally. Alright, the main points to be drawn from this analysis are the configuration of the components changes each time the apparatus is set up. And let's go here. The number and type of component parts change each time the apparatus is set up. The vast majority of circuit connections are totally unintelligible to an engineer or a physicist. The major components are not powered in a normal fashion. The radio frequency field strengths are thus minuscule. There is no apparent logic to the physical arrangement of the components. The main, quote, tuning, Unit 17, plays no discernible role. It is clear why the apparatus consumes so little mains power. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff put into it. Okay, so assuming this author and other authors have not been massively diluted. Well, yeah, this is all, again, this is real stuff, guys. The inevitable conclusion from these observations is that the apparatus plays no primary role in producing the phenomena consisting consisting the Hutchison effect. There have been several physics-based theories, such as the action of quote zero point energy or quote scalar waves involving certain aspects of the apparatus alone, which have been put forward to explain the Hutchison effect. All are essentially useless. All right. So it's like he's a skeptic of his own work he's been dealing with forever. What remains is that John Hutchison himself is an active part of the system, perhaps even the main part. In the absence of any reasonable physical theory, we are left with psychokinesis as a possible, however unlikely, and ill-defined at present explanation of the Hutchison effect. Acknowledgements. This author would like to acknowledge interest and Assistant Professor R. Roy in pursuing this phenomenon. Here's some links to it. And this is Hutchison's old website. His new one is .com. I think you're not going to find this .ca. So he changed it to .com. Okay, so you go to .com. So there's HudsonEffect.com, guys. Yeah, you guys had a good chat. It looks like you guys discovered Hutchison effect. Anyways, I'm gonna play this video by what's his name? Yeah, by Nyland Revisionist. All right.
He's been led here to this man.
Okay, how's the volume, guys? Here, is it too low?
A man who's managed to avoid a fate so many could not. Sudden death.
How do you think you survived?
Because I'm a raving lunatic. Because I'm a raving lunatic. Because I'm a raving lunatic.
Do you fear for your life today?
No.
No,
Why?
we're crazy.
Because I'm a raving lunatic. Because I'm a raving lunatic.
All right.
Because I'm a raving lunatic.
I say, Major.
All right. Enough, guys. This is the guy that's uncovered the secrets of the universe, guys. Anyways, that's all for today, guys. I gotta head out, and I'm closing stuff on. Thanks for joining, and let's close everything. Yeah, so make sure to follow MES links on Telegram, guys, and Telegram. Make sure to follow it because I have a bunch of scheduled posts there coming in. Yeah, so I think the other reason he's not been Epstein is he doesn't even know what he's doing. But anyways, it's pretty epic stuff. And John, if you're listening to it, I want to come visit your stuff, even if you need help getting equipment, putting it together. I'll do it all for you. I'll do the heavy work, the heavy lifting. You just join the live stream. Anyways, thanks for joining. Okay, so Ron Michael says, replicating his work requires equipment unavailable to civilians with regards to frequency generators. I think we'll be able to find it. Just tell us what exactly he needs, and then if we tell people the specifics, and there'll be a way to make it, otherwise we have to make it ourselves. I was in band, we didn't play frequently enough to have any major effect. Interesting. This we got to resonate more. Alright guys, I'm closing stuff, and live stream 31 people already. We had actually a lot of people, 21 now actually. Okay, everyone's leaving. Alright, or actually it's 24. Anyways, 24 now. We peaked at 31, I think, or something. Anyways, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for joining, and have a great day. Let's go, baby. And see you in the next one. Oh, yeah, and then next week, guys. Oh, did I even share the Telegram link? I didn't even share it, did I? Oh, there's, guys, follow my Telegram. Yeah, I think I shared it, or missed it. Follow the Telegram, a bunch of stuff there. Anyways, guys, have a good one. Hudson used radios out of Navy ships. They transmitted in thousands of watts range. Interesting. All right, love you too, Paul. Let's go. Love less, no more. Love more, guys. Paul, love more. Let's go. All right, great to see you here as well, Ron Muckle. Yeah, he's OG. All right, guys, I am calling it. I'm ending the stream in 3, 2, 1, and end. End it, guys. Let's go.